Okay. No! Oh my god! I fell! No, my skateboard! Okay. Well, I can't fit down there. Cut off the circulation in my wrists. Yes!
Now, how are you getting the board from there to there? Don't fall in.
If I die,
Oh,
tell
there's the peach.
Jack I loved him. Here, record. Actually record. Oh God. Hello? Any clouds down there? 2016 is over. Time to pack up and leave.
That was a whirlwind.
Oh, I got my board back.